Hey guys, so it's been a hard few days here at Barefoot Harvest. There's an old wives' tale, which I don't normally believe, but it says death comes in threes, and unfortunately for us in the last couple days, that turned out to be accurate. So we lost 2 bunnies and a chicken, and 2 of them were the fault of our dog, and it's not his fault. He's just being a dog, you know. We chose a breed that is, you know, bred to be a hunting dog, the standard poodle, and unfortunately I missed one of the latches on the rabbit cage and they all escaped, and he got one. He got our biggest male, and he also got a chicken before we realized that they had escaped, and he was out here by himself, and you know, he figured out how to get through the fence and he got them, and you know, it's like, what can you do? It's just rough. But you know, I don't think that was as rough as the baby bunny. Yeah, so the girls were calling her Star. You guys know she had like the little California points, and she's on our Instagram feed, Barefoot Harvest, and of course we were all very, very obsessed with her, but she was actually sick, and we still aren't sure exactly what took her, but we noticed from the beginning, I mean, the other bunnies kind of beat up on her, and that could have been something instinctual for them, like they knew she wasn't gonna make it. But she started having some issues, and we got medicine for her, and we put a treatment plan together for her, and I think we were just too late. She started losing weight rapidly, and even with eating she wasn't gaining anything, and she was gone today when we went to go give her medicine. So it's really sad. The girls and I gave her a little funeral. But yeah, it's a really sad but honest, real, raw part of homesteading. You're going to lose animals. It's gonna happen. Hopefully the rest of this video can be a little bit of a mood lifter, but I just wanted to let you guys know like what's going on. I never want to hide the failures from you, because that's part of learning and growing and actually, like, you know, having a farm. So let's go do some stuff and hopefully lift the mood a little bit. Alright, so all the ducks have had their breakfast and they are looking calm and happy. They seem to be really enjoying their new space away from the chickens. They seem to be a lot less panicky when we come to feed them, so I think that they definitely feel some stress relief being on their own and their own flock. So even though the ducks did just fine with the chickens, and you can raise them all together, and eventually we would like to do that so we can free up another coop for grow outs or something like that, they seem to be a lot less stressed out being on their own and their own separate flock back here. But it could be because they're right in the back corner where like no one really bothers them. They're in the shade. You know, so I'm not really sure exactly why they aren't as stressed out as they seemed before. Like I said, they lived perfectly fine with the chickens, and they always have for the years that I've kept them. But it does seem like they are calmer now, and maybe it's just because they are on their own and they have to fight a dozen less birds for food. There's definitely fewer competition as we have about a dozen chickens, so maybe that's it. Maybe they just feel a little bit more comfortable with just their own. So I'm in here with the chickens, and woo! You guys remember in my last video where I said that Mr. Hoodwink has never shown any signs of aggression? Well, he just like kind of bowed up on me. So he's probably upset because all of the chickens escaped today, and I had to round them all up and catch them, which they don't like. So they make a lot of noise, and he was definitely not happy with us catching his women. So I'm wondering if he's just agitated, but hopefully he stays a really nice rooster because I love him. On a more positive note, Mr. Neville Longbottom here is doing so much better. The chickens do not mind him being in here with them, whereas the ducks were bullying him a lot. So we do plan on getting more Pekin ducks in the spring so he can have some girlfriends and not be so lonely. But for now, he fits right in with the chickens. So also, I don't know what happened because they have all been pretty much on winter break except for 2 of my hens who have been laying like pretty consistently. But we got 7 eggs today. Like, what? So stay tuned because we might be doing something fun with those. So with some of the rabbits passing, we kind of wanted to go ahead and re-separate all the male from female bunnies. We are now only down to 2 males, and it is both the black bunnies, so they are our men in black, and we have our females still in the white shed like we showed you guys in the previous video. But we are hoping that they are bred, and we wanted to just separate them now and give the ladies some time to just really fatten up and prepare for babies without the stress of the males trying to continuously breed them. So the males are in these crates for now. Again, it's just a temporary situation because we are going to build some rabbit hutches. So they've got a little great temporary home for now, and it'll work. So Story named them Rocky and Stone. And the girls and I just call them the Men in Black. So they're happy for now in their new cages away from the females. Gotta take a little break sometimes, guys. So as for our females, we still have this beautiful little checker giant mix and our 2 lion head mixes. The 2 lion heads were never meant to be like meat breeders. We kind of just took them in from someone who was looking to get rid of them for free, and we just took them in mostly as pets. Jaden really loves these 2. They're pretty much her favorite. We're happy to keep them around. What are you doing? Good kitty. That's a good kitty. This is Winston, our barn kitty. And he's about to get his brother to be his barn partner. So, a little bit of a backstory on Winston. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know that we actually thought we lost Winston. Our friend took him to the vet for us. He was staying with a friend while we lived in the RV. Just because Thomas has pretty severe cat allergies, and we knew like in a small space that was not going to work out. So a friend was actually keeping him temporarily for us, and she took him to go get him fixed for us, and he basically almost died on the table. They called me and they said, we can't get him to wake up, he's hemorrhaging, he's hypothermic, just all kinds of things were going wrong after his surgery, and they couldn't get him to wake up. So they basically spouted off like $1,000 in testing just to see why he wouldn't wake up, and then it was going to be more after, you know, diagnosing to see, like, you know, they basically threw out that it would be a lifetime of care for him, prescription medicines, or he possibly had like kitty leukemia or kitty AIDS and he was gonna die anyway. But basically he was probably going to die on the table because they couldn't get him to wake up. And we cried and cried and signed some paperwork saying that basically like we were not equipped to handle a cat that needed that amount of care. And also, mind you, he was 3.5 hours away with my friend, and it's not like we could just rush down and see him, you know. And you know, we just knew like we weren't in a spot where we could do that, and so we signed papers to let him go, and we grieved him. And I told my kids, and they all grieved him. And about 4 days later, I get a text, and it says, call this number, this lady has Winston. And I'm like, what do you mean she has Winston? Like his ashes? Like, did they cremate him? Like, I don't know. And she said, no, she's fostering him. And I'm like, what do you mean? I thought he was dead or dying, and he was going to die. So we worked with this woman who fostered him for a while, and it turns out that he just needs like a special type of food because he has like a sensitive stomach, and nothing else was wrong with him. So he just had like a bad reaction to getting fixed, to the surgery, and I was told all of this crazy stuff, and we gave up our cat thinking that he was dead. And it turns out that he's just fine, and he has a sensitive stomach. So, yeah. Long story short, we thought our cat was dead. We basically announced that we were grieving him, and everybody, of course, like was so kind and sent their condolences, and we have him back now. So, he loves being outside and like pouncing on all the little critters around here that shouldn't be around here. So he's like living his best life again, and it's just crazy to me. So I've kind of been like dreading announcing that because the internet has all sorts of opinions, but I figured he's gonna be in all of our videos, so might as well explain it, right? Yeah, I'm really not looking for opinions on that one. So on the gardening and green side of things, we have actually begun our seeds. This is not all of them, but basically the seeds that we can start in January. So we started some arugula and what are you doing? He's trying to take the camera so he can film. But we started some arugula and some celery, and they are all doing so good. So I actually got all of this set up on Amazon, the grow lights, the seed mat, and the little greenhouses. So I can link all of that in the description from my Amazon shop. Also, if you guys grab these, we get a small little commission, but it costs no extra for you. So I would love for you guys to grab these from our shop because I actually really like how they're doing. So we got a little cutting from the zoo when we went. This was trampled on the sidewalk. It was already broken. So we picked it up. It's called Wandering Jew. I know some people call it other things like Wandering Man or Wandering Dude to be maybe a little bit more sensitive. But we just love it so much. We thought it was so pretty. It has like purple underside. And we are just sticking it in water in hopes of getting it to root so we can plant some. And then the same thing with these little rose. Story picked me a flower at the zoo, and I broke it into a few branches, and we're gonna try to grow this rose because I thought the color was so pretty. But a funny story about these Wandering Jew plants. So we were at the zoo and I noticed those cuttings on the ground, and I was like, Jaden, pick those up, put them in the stroller. I was like, they're just gonna die anyway, so we might as well try to get a clipping out of them. I really want some Wandering Jew for the yard. And so we put some in the stroller, we were on our way home, and Thomas calls me and says, hey, I got you a surprise. And Thomas has this little quirk of when he gets you a surprise, he can't keep it a surprise, so he tells you. and he says, I got you a plant. And I said, oh, you know, I can't wait to see it. He's like, I bet you'll know what it is if I tell you the name of it. It's called a wandering Jew. And I laughed and I said, what kind? What does it look like? And he said, well, it's kind of striped on the top and it's purple on the bottom. And I just had to laugh because I was like, no way did you just buy me a wandering Jew plant. He said it's really big. And here I was taking a cutting from the zoo of the same plant that I wanted, the same, like we were doing it at the same time. I was like, we've been married for a really long time. So here is the one that he bought me, which is a really great size, and you could see like the purple under of the leaves and then striped on top. It's so beautiful. And I'm pretty sure you can keep these guys inside, but he's hanging out on my porch right next to Fergus the fern. Anyway, I just thought it was so sweet and so funny that we were on like the exact same wavelength about this plant. So a couple other things that I've grabbed recently is this. It is a snow on the mountain peony, and it has these beautiful like double petals. And I just love it so much. I'm going to die having an arbor over our walkway because it just drops all these gorgeous little white petals. And I just think it's like so romantic. And then today I grabbed this rose from Ace Hardware. And they're like very peachy with a yellow core. So the tag shows them really orange, and I'm not sure if they maybe change during season, but they are supposed to bloom in every season except winter, which is hilarious because right now it's winter and they're blooming. But you can see some of them are a little bit more yellow, and then this bloom is like solid yellow. I just thought they were so soft and pretty looking. Ezzy, what's going on over here? Floki's caught up in the leash. Ezzy is killing ants with a leash. Do you guys see why I need some peaceful and romantic things in my garden? Because everything else is chaotic. You getting them?
Wait.
That's one way to kill ants. So, Ezzy has been asking since we unpacked the incubator. What have you been asking to do, Ezzy? You want to put some eggs in the incubator?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we don't have anything fancy to incubate. So, we just decided to throw some in the incubator to check our rooster's fertility and to make little Ezreal happy. He loves baby chicks, right? Are you so gentle with them? Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if, yeah, it's not going to show up on camera, but I have some really good green colors going on that we want to develop more. We've got like this olive green and some really bright greens. It's not showing up on camera, it's just a little too bright in here. But our ice bar lays our favorite egg. She lays like this khaki green, white speckle, like consistently always has like a really cool bloom pattern on it. Anyway, we just decided to throw these in the incubator just for a little fun winter project, something to do while we wait for all of our breeds to become available in the spring. Right, Ezzy? Hey, are you excited? Yeah? Yeah. So the important thing is to make sure the skinny side, pointy side of your egg is down and the rounded side is up. This allows your air sac to stay at the top. Nope. Nobody. They're too fragile, okay?
Why, Mama?
Because they will break if you accidentally put them down too hard. So we really don't know if any of these have been fertilized, but because we have a rooster, pretty good chance. All right, you can see the colors a little bit better now. They're still a little bit deeper than the camera is showing, but here is some of our really good first gen olive eggers. Our goal would be to get like a deep foresty olive green, and here is our one and only Easter egger. As you can see, it's like a little bit more like bright, and then our ice bar with her khaki spotted eggs, and then we just picked a pink egg and a couple tan layers that have some freckles. Nothing super special, but our best eggs out of the current basket we had going.
Can I say I'm hungry for eggs? I'm hungry for eggs. Yeah, they're the yummiest thing. That jump egg.
You gonna hatch some eggs? Okay.
We're gonna have some eggs on our farm.
This is day 1. Nope. No touching. Back up. Are you so excited? No, stop touching, Ezreal. So we've got our little humidity and temperature gauge in here, and we're just gonna keep an eye on it and make sure that everything stays good. We do not have the egg turner in yet. We're gonna let them rest up like this for a day, and then we'll start the egg turner.
And that's some eggs.
You're gonna hatch some eggs? Are you so excited? All right.
We're gonna hatch
What's gonna come out of the eggs? Chicks? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You love chicks? Okay, buddy. 21 days from now, okay?
Mama, open it.
No, we have to keep it closed so they're warm. Okay?
And that hot.
Yeah, so it gets hot, right? And it cooks the egg so they can grow.
Oh. We hope you subscribe and click the bell so you remember that our chicks hatch.